An appeal by an active serviceman has been published in Russia, which paints a frightening picture of the degradation of the Russian army and the collapse of its command structures. According to a soldier of the 139th Separate Assault Battalion, the unit's command literally finished off its own wounded soldiers so as not to waste time and effort on their evacuation. The commander of the 139th Battalion, Kurabek Karayev, together with his deputy and chief of staff, ordered the wounded to be killed. When the soldiers refused to carry out the criminal order, they did it themselves, the serviceman said. This is only part of the picture of total decomposition. The soldier said that commanders were selling humanitarian aid en masse and extorting money from personnel. According to him, a vacation cost 300,000 rubles and state awards were sold for cash. We built him a bathhouse ourselves and units chipped in, the soldier noted. Karayev, according to his subordinates, has a suspended sentence for abuse of power and runs a personal business right in the combat zone. He has 3 apartments and 2 stores in Donetsk where he sells humanitarian aid, the fighter explained. The previous battalion commander, Alexei Klochkov, call sign Chekist, was removed from his post by generals Grekov and Ivanayev for refusing to participate in the trade of humanitarian supplies and for sparing for personnel. The soldier stressed that such methods have become commonplace in the army. According to him, drones and equipment handed over by volunteers were immediately confiscated by the commander and resold, and the soldiers were forced to buy equipment at their own expense. There are checks for 150 and 350,000 rubles for drones that we were forced to buy again, he said. In desperation, the serviceman turned directly to Putin, declaring that the Eastern Military District was completely covering up the crimes of its commanders. If you let it all go down, everything will go into the sand, because the generals, Grekov and Ivanayev, are protecting all this, he explained. It is characteristic that until recently, stories about the killing of the wounded were considered fairy tales and IPSO. Now they sound from the mouths of Russian soldiers themselves as the everyday reality of war in which their own commanders sell humanitarian aid, kill subordinates and acquire apartments in the occupied territories. The Russian army, which the Kremlin tried to present as a powerful force, in fact, increasingly resembles a decayed apparatus of violence where the life of a soldier is worth nothing and commanders are concerned only with their own profit.
A huge fire broke out at the Tomorrowland music festival site in Belgium on Wednesday, but no concerts were underway and no injuries were immediately reported. According to Associated Press, images shared on Belgian news sites and social networks showed flames and broad plumes of grey and black smoke consuming the main stage of the venue in the town of Boom north of Brussels, and drifting over nearby woods. The next festival was scheduled to start Friday. Tomorrowland draws tens of thousands of visitors from around Europe to its festivals and events. Due to a serious incident and fire on the Tomorrowland main stage, our beloved main stage has been severely damaged, the venue posted on its website. We can confirm that no one was injured during the incident.
Nee.
Nu is het Zelenski en ploft er ook in. Pauw is verkozen. Ze wil ook nog hinder staan.
Oh, deze is niet goed.
In the village of Kondratovka, in the Sumy region, the remnants of the 30th Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Russian Armed Forces found themselves in a cauldron. The situation in this settlement is becoming catastrophic for the Russian military. The Russian Z Resource, Northern Channel, associated with the occupation forces, reports in detail about what is happening. According to him, the occupiers have lost positions on the northern outskirts of Kondratovka and are forced to retreat. Part of the group has been blocked in the central part of the settlement. The only corridor to exit to the east is under heavy fire from Ukrainian forces and is completely exposed to fire. The remains of the 30th Regiment are in the very center of Kondratovka. They are waiting for the blockade to be lifted. The channel's authors report. According to them, the so-called Nine was initially supposed to ensure the breakthrough of the encirclement, but this did not happen. The reason for the disrupted operation are not reported. Together with the 30th Regiment, the 40th Brigade of the Russian Federation also operated in the Kondratovka area earlier. However, according to the latest information, it suffered huge losses and is now recovering in neighboring Konstantinovka. Now, 2 battalions of the 810th Marine Brigade of the Russian Federation have been sent to try to unblock the encircled occupiers. But even the authors of the Z channel do not hide their despair. This has been going on in Kondratovka for a week now. Every day there are fewer and fewer of those we save, writes Severny Kanal. There is reason to believe that the Russian command is losing control of the situation on this section of the front. The offensive towards Sumy has finally stalled. Sumy region is one of the new hotspots of the war, where the Ukrainian armed forces continue to successfully contain and drive out the invaders. Kondratovka may become another point where the Kremlin's plans are destined to fail.